The last things that we'll go over here, just talk a little bit around reports. And we saw some example reports on the dashboard earlier, but the system does come with a built-in report writer, which is great for taking all of the great data that you're putting in and helping you analyze it through different views. The report writer comes with built-in reports that are available day one, as well as a customizable reporting template that allows you to build reports from scratch, and that's inclusive of a custom calculation builder. It also includes the ability to, slice the data in any way that you see fit, including any custom user-defined fields you may have added to your unique configuration settings. And right from here, I'm able to take a report and either run it in the browser and see the results. I can download any report and really any screen in the tool into Excel, Microsoft Word, PDF. Also support things like pivot table ready reports, so that if you want to pull a report offline and combine it with other data sources, you have an easy way to do that. You can share reports directly within the application. The great thing about the sharing capability is that it will always maintain security and role permissions. So if I have power user rights and I share it with someone with a very limited security role, they will only see the small portion of that report that their role allows them to. So it's a great way to really control what someone has access to. And you also get a scheduling mechanism, so that if you want a report automatically generated, emailed to you, to a client, to one of your contacts, you can do that directly from the system, and that can be emailed on an automated basis as an attachment. So let's just run a few examples here. This is a great report that consolidates all of the financials around your customers and projects. I'm able to see, for all my clients, the total income coming from our invoice information. I can see any of the revenue we've been able to recognize. I can compare that against the costs, which include not only my travel expenses, but also my labor expenses. So each employee in the system can have a labor rate, whether that's a banded or average cost or salary, fully burdened rate is really up to you. But that's available within the tool with date effectivity to give you some great reporting on costs incurred. And ultimately, the ability from here to drill into specific clients and actually see, based on the projects you worked for them, what were you able to do from a status perspective. So I can see here a miniature project P&L that breaks out all of my invoicing and income information, all of my revenue recognition and costs, and also gives me the ability to see where did I perform against my budget, both from a billing and a cost perspective. So some great information that's available as a pre-built report within the application. You can also get a little bit fancier with your reports by combining things like multiple levels of drill down, some hierarchy information, even color coding. So in a report like this, I've added some color coding to help draw out some of the exceptions in terms of who's over or underutilized. So I can drill into my consulting organization and see specifically how are people performing. If I want to drill into a specific resource, I can see, was that person tentatively scheduled or are they confirmed to do that work? So that lets me know how flexible that work is to be moved to other individuals. And again, just a great way for me to consume some of that scheduling and forecasting data that all of the project managers are spending time putting into the tool. You also get access to key operations reports, so things like timesheet compliance. In addition to notifications and some of the dashboard alerts we've already seen, you can also run timesheet and expense report compliance reports to see who is consistently forgetting or neglecting to put in time, who are the approvers that are late doing approvals, and all that information, since there is a huge amount of transparency provided by this tool, can easily be generated here. And lastly, in terms of some great information from a management as well as a professional services perspective, this is one of the key reports that our internal professional services team loves to run, is the ability to forecast your revenue. And again, this is all based on three key components within the system. The first is the project schedule in terms of the dates and the timelines and the tasks that you've put into your plan. The second is the hours that you're forecasting for your resources. And the third are those rules that we've set up to be able to tell the system, are we going to earn revenue on a % complete basis? Are we going to earn it, as billed using our time and material rates? So a report like this allows me to forecast, in this case, 3 months into the future, what are my expected revenue numbers? You'll also notice that I've broken this out to differentiate between proposed work that's still in our sales pipeline and the active work that we've already won. So this allows me to effectively communicate back out to the team, if we were able to win this business, it could provide a significant amount of revenue to the organization. And again, depending on the level of detail you need, you can provide that level of drill down into your reports, so whether that's drilling into the specific projects that are active, or on a report basis, maybe even the ability to drill in and see specifically who on the project is going to generate the most amount of revenue, which might be helpful if you have people performing work at different rates or at different levels within the organization structure. And finally, if we just return back to the home dashboard here, the great thing about the tool is that you've probably seen today, there's a great workflow in terms of a cycle here where as projects are entered, notifications go out so that staffing can be completed. As staffing is being completed, notifications are being sent out to your end users so that they can log in, capture the amount of time that they're spending, log any of the travel expenses that they're incurring as they go and perform work for your customers. And then also those notifications that are going to be driven out to the finance and billing teams so that they know when it's appropriate to create that billing information out to customers. And all of that at any point in time in that workflow can be represented in the form of a report or some of these different views so that you have that sense of transparency, that sense of real-time information, really depending on what your role is and any type of organization you have.